Alpha Male 2.0, the Alpha Male 2.0 lifestyle structures, these lifestyle models that we talk about here at Alpha Male 2.0, is not just a way to develop a freedom-based lifestyle. It's not just a way to develop a financial life and a woman life that makes you happy long-term, unlike any other lifestyle model you can just about think of in terms of Western era. It's not just that. It's also a way to protect yourself. It is an insurance policy on future problems. I will explain. I am Caleb Jones, and this is Alpha Male 2.0, freedom-focused lifestyle design for men. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. We do 5 videos a week here on how to make both your business life and your woman life more free, because you need both. By the way, we're doing an online course giveaway right now. This is my online course on how you can create your own location-independent income. That course normally retails for about $1,400, but you might be able to get it for free. All you need to do is be a subscriber here at YouTube, like this video, leave a comment, and I will regularly update the winner of the drawing here at this YouTube community feed here at this YouTube channel. So, I want to ask you a question. I want you to think about this carefully. This is a big question. I thought about this just recently, and this will demonstrate something to you. When COVID-19 hit the world back in March, April, and we had all the fear and all the chaos and all the lockdowns, which are now coming back in many countries and in many states. When that happened, who was fucked more? People who were employees or people who had their own businesses? Speaking generally, who was screwed more? Who was worried more? Who had, speaking in general, there are always exceptions, but who had more problems and more fear and more chaos and more upset when this occurred? People who had jobs or people who had their own businesses? Who was fucked more when COVID-19 hit? People who had location-dependent income, or people like me, Alpha Male 2.0s, who had location-independent income, who made money irrelevant of where they were, where they drove, where they lived, where they visited, where they flew to. They had money coming in regardless of where they were physically located. Who was fucked more when COVID hit the world? People who had to rely on a specific location to make money, or people like me who didn't have to rely on that at all, whose money just came in regardless of whether or not they drove to work, whether or not they were located in a certain city, whether or not they were located in a certain country. The income kept coming in. Who was fucked more of those two categories of people? Who was screwed more when COVID-19 hit? Between these 3 categories. Guys who were single and not having a lot of sex when the lockdowns occurred, guys who were in monogamous relationships, or Alpha Male 2.0s like me, who had multiple non-monogamous relationships all going at the same time with multiple women. Who was fucked out of those 3 categories of men? Who was screwed the most when the lockdowns hit? Guys who were single, not having sex, guys who are monogamous, maybe or maybe not having sex, and guys who are seeing multiple women. Who got fucked the most in terms of all those categories I just listed? Who were affected the least? Of all those categories I just listed, business owners, single guys, what have you, who was affected the least? Among those categories, who in some ways benefited from COVID-19? I have talked a lot at my blogs, and some of you have discussed this. Some of you found the same thing, where when COVID-19 hit and the lockdowns hit, all of a sudden, us Alpha Male 2.0s who have rosters of multiple women, all of a sudden, this certainly happened to me, all of a sudden women came out of the woodwork. All these women who I had seen over the last several years, all of a sudden hit me up. Hey, how's it going? Hey, what's going on? And my sex life this year has been fucking fantastic. Now, it's fantastic every year, but this year has been crazy good because of COVID-19. Compare that to all the other guys who were single and or not having sex, complaining about, well, now how do I get laid? How do I do online dating? How do I do day game? Now it's all, I'm under lockdown. I guess I can't have sex now for 6 months. You see how this works? Alpha Male 2.0 protects you against future problems. That's part of what it does. If you have your own business during times of economic crisis, you are far more flexible and far more maneuverable than a guy with a job. If you have location-independent income, I mean, that's obvious. If you have location-independent income and you can't drive to work, does it matter? You don't need to drive to work. My lifestyle didn't change one iota during COVID this year. It hasn't changed at all because I don't go to work. I'm location independent. I work out of my house. I work wherever I am. It doesn't matter where I am. I can be anywhere in the world, and the money keeps coming in. When you have location independent income, you are hardcore bulletproof against all kinds of recessions, depressions, all kinds of economic chaos like COVID-19. And of course, when you are non-monogamous, when you are dating not 0 women like a lot of guys, not 1 woman like a lot of monogamous guys, but multiple women, and new women can come in whenever they want, and there's no rules you have around that, you benefit tremendously during times of crisis. Women tend to cling to men a little more during times of crisis. That certainly has happened this year. A lot of you have reported the same thing. I'm getting a lot of questions now about, hey, Caleb, what do you think about the Great Reset? Do you believe in it? What happens? Oh no, we're going to be more socialist. Oh no, the elites are going to make big government bigger. But what's the cure to this? What's the solution to that? Alpha Male 2.0. Assuming the Great Reset comes, and it will, over time, slowly, the entire world gets more left-wing as time goes on. I've said that many, many times. I've shown that many, many times at my blogs. Yes. As governments become more socialist, as governments become more authoritarian, what is the cure? Voting for Donald Trump? I just went through another video how that didn't fucking work. No. The cure is Alpha Male 2.0. Having your own business that is location independent, that is not tethered to any one country or location, with minimal overhead, no employees, and having a non-monogamous lifestyle where you're dating and or having sex with multiple women. Those guys will do just fine regardless of what comes down the road in terms of the Great Reset or more socialism or higher taxes or more authoritarianism. Who is going to get screwed by these things? Normal guys. Beta males, and for the most part, alpha male 1.0s. Those are the guys who are going to get fucked. Those are the guys who were fucked during COVID. Those are the guys who will continue to be fucked. And it's going to get worse and worse and worse. As I've talked about many times, we live in a collapsing civilization. The Western world is collapsing and cannot be stopped. Yes, if you're a beta and you choose to assume a beta male lifestyle, you're in big trouble. You got a lot of problems. If you're an alpha male 1.0, you're a little better off than the beta as things get worse, but you're in big trouble too. I know a lot of alpha male 1.0s who were in big trouble this year. They still are, either sexually or financially, or in some cases both. Alpha Male 2.0 protects you against these kinds of problems. It's not just a mechanism where you can make your life better. It certainly is that. But at the same time, it is also an insurance policy against all of these problems occurring. And as I've talked about in prior videos, COVID-19 is not the last big problem. I hate to say this, there's a lot more shit coming, and a lot of it's going to be worse. Get ready. Alpha Male 2.0 is the answer, or at least an alleviation. Does Alpha Male 2.0 solve every problem in your life? Of course not. Nothing does. Of course not. But as an Alpha Male 2.0 with location-independent self-employed income and multiple non-monogamous relationships, you are light years, and you will be light years ahead of any other beta male or Alpha Male 1.0 when these problems keep occurring and when these problems get worse, which they will. Just watch. If you want more help with this, you can go to joinsmic.com. That is my monthly coaching and mentorship program, audio training program. Otherwise, you can click here for the 6 things you need to do if you decide to not leave your country, or you can click here to see whether or not Alpha Male 2.0 is selfish. I will see you in the next video.